How can minimalist living lead to maximum happiness according to the philosophy of Zen masters? Part 1. In our modern world, we are drowning in stuff. Our homes, our calendars, and our minds are cluttered. We have closets full of clothes we never wear, garages full of things we never use, and digital lives overflowing with notifications, emails, and an endless stream of content. We work hard to acquire more, believing that the next purchase, the next upgrade, will finally bring us a lasting sense of satisfaction. Yet, for so many of us, the result isn't happiness. It's a quiet, persistent anxiety. It's the feeling that our possessions have begun to possess us. What if the path to happiness isn't about adding more, but about skillfully taking away? The modern trend of minimalism has given us a taste of this freedom, but it often stays at the surface level of decluttering our homes. Zen wisdom, for over 1,000 years, has been exploring a much deeper minimalism, a minimalism of the mind. In this series, we will journey beyond simple tidying tips and into the profound philosophy of Zen to understand why we accumulate, and how the act of letting go of physical clutter can be a powerful gateway to clearing our mental clutter, leading to a freedom and happiness you may have never thought possible. To understand the Zen approach, we must first see the undeniable link between our outer world and our inner world. A cluttered home is not just a storage problem. It is a direct physical manifestation of a cluttered mind. Zen practice is, at its core, the practice of seeing reality clearly, and the reality is that our external chaos is a mirror of our internal state. The mind, in its untrained state, is constantly grasping. It is driven by what the Buddha called craving, tanha, a deep, insatiable thirst for more. More pleasure, more security, more validation. A powerful metaphor for this is to see your mind as a room. Every unexamined desire, every nagging fear, every attachment to a past success or future hope is like an object you carry into this room and never put away. You bring in the box of what-ifs, the chair of old regrets, the pile of future anxieties. Soon, the room is so full of this mental furniture that there is no space left to simply be, to move, to breathe. The physical clutter we see in our homes is just this inner room spilling out into the world. From this, we can deduce why we accumulate possessions. We rarely buy a thing for the thing itself. We buy it for the promise it whispers to us. This new car promises freedom and status. This expensive skincare promises youth and confidence. This new phone promises connection and efficiency. We are not just buying objects, we are buying better versions of ourselves. In Buddhist terms, this is a form of clinging. Upadana. We attach our identity and our hopes for happiness to these external, impermanent things. Zen wisdom points out that this is a fundamental error in navigation. We are searching for an internal state of peace in an external world of objects. A famous Zen saying describes this as polishing a brick, hoping to make a mirror. No matter how hard you polish the brick of materialism, it will never reflect the clear, peaceful nature of your own mind. The happiness it provides is fleeting, and it creates a new anxiety, the fear of losing the very thing we just acquired. The cycle of craving and clinging is the engine of our discontent. So, what does this mean for you as you look around at the things you own? It means that the process of decluttering can be transformed from a dreaded chore into a profound spiritual practice. It's not just about getting rid of stuff. It's a deep inquiry into your own mind. This leads to our first practice, mindful decluttering. This week, choose one small area of your home to declutter. A single drawer, a shelf, a corner of your closet. As you pick up each object, don't just ask the popular question, does this spark joy? Go deeper. Ask the Zen questions. Hold an object and ask with genuine curiosity, what promise did I believe this object would fulfill when I bought it? What story about myself is attached to this object? By keeping this, what fear am I holding on to? Maybe you're keeping a book to prove to yourself that you're an intellectual, even though you know you'll never read it. Maybe you're holding on to old clothes from a time you were thinner, clinging to a past version of yourself. Be gentle and honest. The goal is not to shame yourself, but to see clearly. The act of letting the object go then becomes a powerful, symbolic act of letting go of the false promise, the outdated story, and the underlying fear. You're not just clearing your home, you're clearing your mind. In summary, Zen wisdom teaches us that our cluttered homes are a direct reflection of a cluttered mind, a mind driven by craving and a mistaken search for happiness in external things. The practice of minimalism, when approached through this lens, becomes a profound form of self-inquiry. Mindful decluttering is not about creating an empty house, but about creating a spacious mind. But once we've started to clear the space, what do we fill it with? Or is the space itself the goal? What does a Zen-inspired environment, and by extension, a Zen-inspired life, actually look and feel like? This requires us to understand the beautiful Zen aesthetics of simplicity and imperfection, which are really guides for a happier life. And that is where our journey will take us next. What's one area of your home that feels like it reflects your current state of mind? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're ready to start this journey of decluttering both your home and your mind, please like this video and subscribe to Buddhism Wisdom, Spirituality. Part 2. In our last part, we began a profound journey, reframing minimalism from a simple decluttering trend into a spiritual practice. We saw that our physical clutter is a mirror of a mind that clings and craves. We started the process of letting go. This naturally raises the question, after we clear out the noise, what are we aiming for? What does a space that supports a calm and happy mind actually look like? The answer is found in the deep and beautiful aesthetic principles of Zen, which are not just rules for design, but a philosophy for living a richer, more authentic life. To create a life of maximum happiness, we need to understand two core concepts from the Zen aesthetic. The first is wabi-sabi. This is a Japanese term that is difficult to translate, but it points to a beauty that is found in things that are imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete. It is the opposite of the glossy, factory-made perfection that our consumer culture worships. Wabi-sabi is the beauty of a cracked, mended teacup. It's the dignity of a weathered, graying wooden fence. It's the acceptance of the transient beauty of a single wilting flower. It honors the authentic marks of time, use, and reality. The second concept is ma. Ma is the Japanese word for a gap, a pause, or negative space. In Western design, we often focus on the objects, the sofa, the table, the art. In Zen aesthetics, the empty space between the objects is just as, if not more, important. This empty space is what allows each object to breathe, to be seen, to have its own presence. Ma is the silence between musical notes that gives the music its rhythm and feeling. It is the unpainted part of a scroll that gives the painted part its power. It is the potential found in emptiness. From this, we can deduce a powerful truth. By consciously cultivating an external environment of simplicity and space, we directly nurture a similar internal environment. When you embrace wabi-sabi, you begin to let go of the stressful, exhausting pursuit of perfection in your life. You learn to find beauty and contentment in your own imperfections and the imperfections of the world around you. You stop chasing an impossible ideal and start appreciating the authentic beauty of what is. This is a direct path to peace. When you cultivate Ma in your home, when you value the empty spaces and resist the urge to fill every corner, you are training your mind to value inner space as well. You begin to see the beauty in having an unscheduled afternoon. You start to appreciate the silence between conversations. You learn to resist the modern reflex to fill every moment of boredom or quiet with a podcast, music, or a scroll through your phone. You create mental breathing room, and in that space, clarity, creativity, and calm can finally arise. Now, a common misconception must be addressed. Many people hear Zen minimalism and picture a cold, empty white box. They think it means getting rid of everything you love. This is a misunderstanding. Zen is not about a specific rigid aesthetic. It is about an approach to living. That approach is intentionality. A Zen-inspired home is not necessarily empty. It is simply free of the unintentional, the unconscious, the unloved. It can be warm and filled with art and books, but every single object has been chosen consciously, has a purpose, and is given the space to be appreciated. The goal is to eliminate the meaningless, so that which is meaningful can shine. So, how do we begin to cultivate this appreciation for simplicity and space in our own lives? We start by training our attention to find the profound in the mundane. This leads to our second practice, the one thing practice. This is an exercise in deep appreciation. This week, choose one simple, ordinary object in your home. It could be your morning coffee mug, a smooth stone from a walk, a wooden spoon, a single piece of fruit. For just 3 minutes, your task is to do nothing but be with this one object. Put your phone away. Sit quietly. Hold it. Look at it. Notice its texture, its weight, its temperature. Observe its small imperfections, its areas of wear, its wabi-sabi. See it as if for the first time. This simple practice is a powerful form of meditation. It trains your appreciation muscle. It teaches your mind to find richness and depth in the simple things that are already in your life, rather than constantly seeking new stimulation from an endless parade of new possessions. You are learning that happiness is not found in the quantity of things you own, but in the quality of your attention to the life you have. As we've seen, the philosophy of Zen offers a beautiful and profound alternative to our culture of more. By embracing the principles of wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection, and ma, the power of empty space, we create outer environments that naturally cultivate inner peace. We shift from a life of unconscious accumulation to one of conscious intention. We have now learned to clear the clutter of our minds and homes and to cultivate an appreciation for the simple beauty that remains. This sets the stage for the final, most important question. What is the ultimate goal of all this? What is the maximum happiness that this path promises? To answer that, we must explore the Zen concept of the empty cup, the ultimate source of freedom and joy. And that is where our journey will conclude. What is one imperfect thing in your life that you could try to see with the eyes of wabi-sabi? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this perspective on beauty and space resonates with you, please like this video and subscribe to Buddhism Wisdom, Spirituality. Part 3. Welcome back. In our journey into Zen minimalism, we started by seeing our physical clutter as a mirror of our mental clutter, and we began the practice of mindfully letting go. Then, in Part 2, we learned to cultivate a new kind of environment, both inside and out, based on the principles of wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection, and ma, the power of space. We have cleared the room. We have learned to appreciate the simple beauty that remains. We now arrive at the heart of our question. What is the ultimate purpose of this? What is the maximum happiness that Zen promises? The answer is found in one of the most famous and liberating metaphors in all of Zen, the empty cup. There is a well-known Zen story. A learned professor, full of his own knowledge and opinions, comes to visit a wise old Zen master to ask about the nature of Zen. The master welcomes him and begins to pour tea. He fills the professor's cup, and then he keeps pouring. Tea spills out, running over the table and onto the floor. The professor, alarmed, shouts, "Stop! The cup is full. No more will go in." The master calmly replies, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" This story holds the key to maximum happiness. What we are emptying through the practice of minimalism is not just our closets and shelves. We are emptying our cup. What is the cup full of? It's full of our ideas about who we are, our attachments to our possessions, our desperate striving for success, our fears, our regrets, the entire cluttered contents of our ego. The Zen path of minimalism, in its deepest sense, is the process of letting go of this mental and emotional clutter. The ultimate goal of Zen is the realization of our own true nature, a state often referred to as emptiness, shunyata, or no mind, mushin. Now, this word emptiness can sound frightening to the Western ear. It sounds like nothingness, a cold void. But in Zen, emptiness is the opposite of that. It is not a void. It is boundless potential. It is the space in which everything can arise. It is the silence that makes the music possible. It is the spacious, peaceful awareness that is our fundamental nature once we have emptied out all the clutter we have layered on top of it. From this, we can understand the Zen definition of maximum happiness. It is not the momentary thrill of acquiring a new possession or achieving a new goal. That is a dependent happiness, one that is vulnerable to change and loss. Maximum happiness is the unwavering peace and contentment that arises from an empty mind, a mind that is free from the frantic activity of craving and clinging. When your cup is empty, you are no longer defined by its contents. You are no longer attached to the identity of, I am a person who owns this brand, or I am a person who has achieved this status. This creates an incredible freedom. You can enjoy things, but your happiness doesn't depend on them. You can engage with the world, but you are not imprisoned by its outcomes. This is the happiness that cannot be taken away from you, because it does not come from anything outside of yourself. It is the peace of your own true, empty nature. This profound state is not found in some mystical trance. It is found in the heart of our ordinary, daily life. The final practice is about bringing this entire philosophy into the most mundane moments. This is the practice of everyday Zen. This week, I invite you to choose one simple routine chore that you usually rush through on autopilot: washing the dishes, folding the laundry, sweeping the floor. For the duration of that one activity, commit to making it your sole practice. Put on a timer for 10 minutes if you like. Put your phone away. Don't listen to a podcast or music. Just wash the dishes. Feel the warmth of the water on your hands. See the iridescent shimmer of the soap bubbles. Hear the sound of the plate being rinsed clean. When your mind wanders to your to-do list or a worry, and it will gently guide it back to the simple, direct experience of washing the dishes. This is the essence of Zen. Finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. Finding the absolute fullness of life in a simple, empty moment. In that moment of just washing dishes, you are not a professional, not a parent, not a person with a past or a future. You're simply a present, spacious awareness. You're emptying your cup, and in that emptiness, you experience the richness of reality itself. And so, we complete our journey into the heart of Zen minimalism. We began by seeing our external clutter as a reflection of our internal clutter. We learned to clear that clutter and to cultivate an appreciation for the simple, imperfect beauty of what is. And finally, we discovered that the ultimate goal is to empty our cup, to let go of the mental and emotional baggage of the ego, so that we may experience the profound peace and contentment that is our true nature. Minimalism, in its deepest sense, is not about having less. It is about making room for more of what truly matters. More presence, more peace, more freedom, and more of the simple, unadorned beauty of this very moment. The maximum happiness is not found in a full house, but in an empty cup, always ready to be filled by the richness of life itself. What is one chore you can transform into a Zen practice this week? Share your intention in the comments below. If this journey has inspired you to empty your own cup, please press the like button and subscribe to Buddhism Wisdom, Spirituality. Thank you for your practice. May you find joy in simplicity.